the week, where we share important information you may have missed while you were making essential parts. I am Lillian Jackson.
I'm Daraine Davis.
And I'm David Wynn. And this is what you need to know for the week ending July 7th, 2023. Good news, the first quarter 2023 real gross domestic product, or GDP, increased at an annual rate of 2%, according to the third estimate released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. This increase was reflected in consumer spending, exports, state, local, and federal government spending, in addition to non-residential fixed investment that were partly offset by decreases in private inventory investment and residential fixed investment. The current dollar GDP increased 6.1% at an annual rate in the first quarter, which is upward revision from the previous estimate. The price index for gross domestic purchases increased 3.8% in the first quarter, which is unchanged from the previous estimate. Our take? Manufacturing accounts for almost 11% of U.S. GDP. We remain optimistic for prospects for our industry.
Beware of a scrap metal scam targeting our shops. Two men identifying as representing a Cherokee Nation tribe are going into shops claiming they are doing non-profit work for kids and ask for scrap metal, aluminum, or brass. They show trinkets that they claim were made from scrap to sell to benefit the kids. They are looking for more than small quantities of bar ends and become quite agitated when asked to leave. They even attempt to enter shops when told not to. This happened to a member this week and has been documented in the news in other states. Now would be a great time to review your admittance, donation, and disposition of scrap policies and procedures with all personnel, including providing instructions on who to call if a question arises.
According to the latest Production Managers Index, PMI, from the Institute of Supply Management, ISM, quote, economic activity in manufacturing sector contracted in June for the 8th consecutive month, unquote. Among areas showing contraction in June were new orders, production, employment, and backlogs. Our Business Trends Sales Index is up 7.5% over April 2023 and shows the sales this year to be midway between the levels of calendar year 2021 and 2022. We're optimistic that our shops can sustain this level of performance for the balance of the year.
China has limited its exports of more rare earth minerals. China accounts for 70% of the world's rare earth mineral production. These earth minerals are relatively abundant, but the capacity for refining them from their low concentration deposits generates toxic waste. It is important that the U.S. develop technologies to safely refine rare earth minerals. It is also important that we lobby for the development of these technologies to increase our energy independence.
GM is prototyping a new energy storage system based on the Ultium battery technology. The goal of this project is to reduce the logistical requirements of fossil fuel in remote locations. The system will anchor an intelligent microgrid for hydrogen-powered generators and traditional fuel generators, providing energy stability. This project has the potential to provide advancements in long-term energy stability and storage. Projects like this are critical to change to a more electric-powered device grid.
On this week's Speaking of Precision podcast, Miles Free, Carly Kistler-Miller, and David Wynn break down how the benefits provided by cold-drawn steel bar stock can help us optimize the benefits to our shop's manufacturing process and customers. This podcast and our Speaking of Suppliers podcast can be found on major podcast platforms or on PMPA.org.
Now it's time for our weekly tip. Yield loss on our raw materials can become a hidden way of losing money in your shop. PMPA developed a chart and sample calculations to better understand why you may be better off buying longer bars for your process when available to reduce yield loss dollars. To learn more, download the chart, go to PMPA.org's Knowledge Centers or Final Cut of the Week.
And that's our take on what you need to know for the week ending July 7th, 2023. For additional information and links about any of the topics discussed today, go to PMPA.org and click on Final Cut of the Week.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next Friday. PMPA developed a chart and a oh shoot.
Come on, man. deposits generates stocks. What is going on?
Now it's time for our weekly.
Ugh.
Welcome to Final Cut of the Week.